Are you a northerner or a Yankee that has moved south but find it difficult to get into hunting like you had back home? Stay tuned. I'm going to give you a couple reasons why it's even better down here if you just take a different approach. A lot of us northerners have moved down here from states like New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I'm a Pennsylvania native, 29 years, but when I moved down here, I changed my mindset a little bit, and I became very successful down here. I used to hunt West Virginia, Maryland, and my home state of Pennsylvania for the same amount of opportunities I have in one state here in South Carolina. So I'm going to talk a little bit about two things I changed my mindset on that made me more successful down here. 100 to 120 harvests a year I'm averaging, and I love this state. I can hunt more down here longer. Up Pennsylvania, we had one deer per year, one buck per year. I would wait all year. Say I was lucky on that first day of archery season, took my target buck. I had to wait till the whole next season to go back out there and hunt again. Down here in South Carolina, man, I take one. I'm just starting for the season. You're allowed $5 a year if you get enough tags. 5 gobblers it started out when I first come down here. Now it's down to 3. Back up in Pennsylvania, it was 1. So I had to hunt 3 states up there for the same amount of opportunity. So I'm going to talk a little bit about 2 factors that most northerners that come down here complain about. Number 1 is going to be land access. Up north, up home, I used to hunt on land that I didn't even know the landowner. It was just traditional areas that we went year after year. Down here, it's going to be a little bit differently. You're going to have to pay for access to land. And I know that's a big sticking point with most northerners, but I'm going to tell you why I like it. Public land access down here, you have to buy a sportsman's license, about $50 a year. Here's why I like that. Anyone that leases land is probably not going to buy that $50 permit to go on public land. You're eliminating that number of hunters. Anyone who owns their own land isn't going to buy that $50 permit, and you're going to eliminate those. So you're reducing some of the hunting numbers on public land. A lot of land down here. Sumter National Forest is broken into 3 parts. Francis Marion down in the lower part of the state. Clinton, Whitmire area, I used to hunt when I first got here and did really well there in the middle of the state. And then in the upstate, you're going to have another section up there at the border of North Carolina, South Carolina. So different parts of the state, you got huge tracts of national forests that are really good hunting. We'll go over some videos later on how I approached public land, but really what I want to talk about in this video is paying for that permit when you first get here. Get on that WMA land, try to become successful on there, then you're going to go into leasing property or getting into a hunting lease. And again, guys up north come down here, they do not want to pay for access to land. Here's another reason I love those leasing properties down here is trespassers. Up north, man, we had a lot of trespassers. Guys would come in, take your target deer, and there was really no prosecution up there. Down here, if you lease land and you pay a significant amount of money to lease that land, when there is a trespasser caught on that land, they really prosecute. I believe it's $1,000, and they confiscate all their gear. If they're taking your stands, if they're taking your trail cameras, they're really going to prosecute down here much more because you paid for access to that land. You can actually watch deer grow up and watch these turkeys grow up. If you pass on a deer, more than likely that deer is going to stay on your property or on neighboring properties, and that deer is going to grow. Here's another thing down here is a lot of non-hunters, so they don't allow access or hunting on their land. That's just a sanctuary for your deer to grow up. So I really like the fact that you pay for land down here, you watch those deer grow up, you get to age class those deer and watch them progress and then take them at their maximum. It's a great feature down here, man, and if somebody trespasses on your land and they get caught, you're going to be able to prosecute to the fullest, but you got to give up that little bit of free hunting property to gain those positives. The next thing I want to talk about is your approach to hunting. Up in Pennsylvania, we had a 2-week rifle season. 1 million hunters would go out in the woods in one day or 1 week. 80% of the harvest was in the first day. So you had all those hunters go out in the woods, push those deer around, and you were hunting really escape routes, thick areas. You were hunting deer not in a natural setting. Down here in South Carolina, you got a longer season. October 1st starts our muzzleloader. October 10th to January 1st is our rifle season. Longer rifle season, and the harvest is spread out throughout the full season. So what you have, you're going to hunt deer more naturally. You're going to really hunt them down here like you did archery season up north. We had a longer archery season up north than down here in the south, but we're going to hunt them naturally. We're going to hunt them over food. We're going to hunt those travel corridors. You're going to hunt them in a natural setting. You're going to watch deer longer. They're not just going to be pushed around like on the first day. The first day of Pennsylvania was a holiday up there. We got out of school whenever I was younger because of that first day. It was a tradition to go. The good thing about that is I can live here in South Carolina, travel back up to Pennsylvania and hunt that 1 week and go up there and be just as successful as when I lived there. You live in the South down here, you're able to take deer. My goal every year is to take a deer in October, November, and December. The conditions change, the areas I hunt change, and that's going to make you a better hunter. You kill that first or second buck up here in September or October, now you're changing your tactics for November. Now you got those 2 tags left for December. You're hunting a little bit differently. You're going to become a better hunter in South Carolina, learning every month that hot spot. And that's what I love about it, is you have much more time to hunt. You get actually 5 seasons in one if you live back up in Pennsylvania or my home state, because you get that higher bag limit. So hopefully these facts have changed your mind just a little bit of how it can be much better here in South Carolina. We're going to go over some future videos on how to approach WMA, how I looked at my maps. I'll go over all of that for you, how to become successful on that public land. Then we'll go into hunting leases, picking leases, and then just how to get that private land that you don't have to pay for. That's eventually your goal, is to get onto private land, landowners' land, without paying. And you can get there, but it takes a little bit longer. But all of this takes just a little bit different mindset than we had up north. Thanks for watching, like, and subscribing. Many more videos coming on us northern hunters moving down here to the south.